this type of injury, like you don't know when I wake up, I'll feel, different than the day before. And
this is the first time we heard from Caitlin since the team announced on Memorial Day she was dealing with a left quad strain. She would be out for at least 2 weeks.
We were told that Clark was not seen in the open portion of practice by reporters who are on the ground there.
Just watch and absorb it, and it's the same when, I'm not active too.
CaitlinClark's injury update, which was not what the league wanted to hear, has shocked the WNBA BA.
We'll see. It could be a possibility, but I could also not be available for that game too. I think just having good perspective is the best way to approach it. Like, yeah, you can be frustrated and whatnot, but, I think the medical team has done a really good job of,
Entire organization depends on one woman, and they have pushed her so hard that she is no longer able to play or save their empty stadia. The Terror says it all.
Yeah, I'll be reevaluated this weekend, so I'll miss this weekend's game, but after that, it's, day by day and see how I feel and just kind of turn to the medical staff and what.
CaitlinClark finally broke her silence, and what she revealed sent shockwaves through the WNBA. She isn't rushing back. And honestly, who could have expected her to? Every night on the court is a battle, a gladiatorial arena where she faces relentless punishment.
I think the medical team has done a really good job of, doing my rehab every single day, staying in a routine, coming in, getting shots up. But more than anything, I think just focusing on being a really good teammate, being there for my teammates, being a voice for them.
Yet somehow, the league acted shocked that she won't throw herself into the fray immediately. Her medical team has been meticulous, running her through relentless rehab, injections, and drills. But more than anything, Clark has focused on something far rarer, being a true anchor for her teammates.
Been told so far by the team is that this is actually an injury that was separate from the quad tightness issue, as CaitlinClark described it earlier in the preseason, that she dealt with before. So it's a little bit of interesting situation given that it was the same.
A voice of reason and strength amidst chaos. It all started on May 25th. Clark crumpled to the floor, clutching her left quad, during a high-stakes duel with the defending champions, the New York Liberty.
Caitlin was asked when she's expected to come back. She told us she would be reevaluated after the weekend. After that, it would be day by day. The Fever are on the road for 2 road games before coming back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse next Saturday.
The team's brightest star, their entire identity, suddenly lay vulnerable. And yet, the league seemed barely concerned. According to insiders, this injury wasn't just the preseason quad tightness she had battled, it was a new, separate setback. The same leg, a recurring threat, and a stark reminder that even elite athletes are human. By Memorial Day, the Fever confirmed Clark would be sidelined for at least 2 weeks. And then reality hit the league like a punch to the gut. The fragile facade of the WNBA began to crumble, as if held together with tape and hope alone. Clark herself stated she would miss the upcoming weekend's games and that any return would be evaluated day by day.
So I think that's just kind of been the time for me to really find some patience, and I've never been a patient person my entire life, so this is definitely testing me a little bit, but I think it's going to be really good for me. And like I said, I've just tried to approach it in the best way I possibly can. I can't change it.
Don't hold your breath. She isn't risking her career for a league that has consistently failed to safeguard her. When pressed about a comeback, she revealed a reevaluation scheduled for June 9th, and beyond that, it's a countdown dictated by her body alone. The Fever have 2 brutal road games ahead before returning home to Gainbridge Fieldhouse next Saturday. This isn't a superhero movie. Clark isn't going to burst back onto the court with a triumphant theme song. She's a human being whose patience has been stretched to its breaking point. And yet, even while sidelined, the chaos around her grows. The June 7th showdown with the Chicago Sky, once poised to be a marquee event, has now become a ghost town.
The girl is spectacular. It's not like she's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player who draws this attention.
Ticket prices plummeted from $80 plus to $14, a fire sale that sent fans canceling trips and hotels declaring the games unworthy of the drive. Angel Reese's theatrics may entertain, but the league's true star, the heartbeat of the franchise, is missing. Clark remains the glue holding her team together. One by one, players have struggled in her absence, falling to 1 and 2 losses. And social media has erupted, #ProtectOurPlayers and #BoycottWNBA trending as fans call out the league's negligence. One viral tweet screamed, "Why support a league that lets its brightest star bleed on the floor?" Clark admitted, with rare vulnerability, that this time away is testing her patience, the likes of which she's never known. But she's approaching it with resilience, staying the steady voice her teammates need, refusing to allow the world to consume her with worry. The financial fallout has been stark.
focusing on being a really good teammate, being there for my teammates, being a voice for them, because that's what I am when I'm playing. So you got to still be that consistent voice when I'm sitting on the bench. So I try to do that as much as I can for them. And just try to be there for them, I think, has been my focus.
Ticket averages sank from $137 to $80. Arenas echoing emptily as the reality sets in. The league hinges entirely on Clark's presence. There is no contingency plan. She isn't just a player, she's a brand, a spectacle, a human lightning rod in a fragile ecosystem. Yet when danger strikes, the WNBA's response is a pat on the back and a shrug, leaving her vulnerable. Flagrant fouls, careless collisions, WWE-style theatrics, players fall like dominoes, the league watches, tweeting platitudes while the game turns into chaos. Clark is gone.
Chicago Sky, the Connecticut Sun, who haven't won yet, so they are trying to hold down the fort for now, while CaitlinClark will be.
The WNBA is exposed. The hype evaporates. Seats sit empty. Ticket prices plunge below the cost of a Happy Meal. Without her, even Angel Reese is shouting into an empty arena, Carrington confusing heads for basketballs, and the fragile illusions of competition collapse. Clark remains a steady voice on the bench, a quiet presence louder than any buzzer. But make no mistake, this is negligence, not misfortune. Fans have lost faith. Revenue and engagement have tumbled. The arenas are desolate, concessions unmanned, the season unraveling before our eyes. The Fever have limped along, eking out a single win thanks to a hardship-signed player, Ari McDonald, who performed as though she'd been with the team all season. The next 2 weeks will be a test of endurance against weaker opponents like the Chicago Sky and the winless Connecticut Sun, a temporary reprieve before the storm returns. Social media continues to seethe, calling for stricter officiating and a complete overhaul of player safety. The league's silence is deafening.
We were commenting that she was sick. You could hear it in her voice that she was sick. It seems like at this point, this is the reason why we haven't seen Caitlin at 100%. We haven't seen her as quick as we saw her last season.
Even Chicago fans, awaiting Reese's rematch, are returning tickets, openly admitting that a game without Clark isn't worth witnessing. Her injury isn't minor, it's a seismic moment in WNBA history. Her legs, central to every shot, every movement, are off balance.
A lot of stuff when you're in the heat of battle, and after the game I had some pain and then got an MRI, and that kind of gave me the result that I didn't want to see, but those type of things don't lie, so yeah.
Throwing off mechanics that once seemed untouchable. The Clark effect has revealed the league's fragility. One absence, and everything crumbles.
That it's going to be longer than 2 weeks. With them saying a minimum of 2 weeks, I feel like that's kind of just giving us breadcrumbs, just giving us enough information, and I actually don't think that they're going to give more for the sake of...
Immediate comebacks are reckless. She won't risk herself until she sees tangible change. She is not merely a player, she is the ecosystem, the attraction, the pulse of the franchise.
Clark has been taking a beating for the last year and a half, and it quickly got physical early in this season, man.
And yet, there she lies, motionless on the court, the league indifferent. Her silence now speaks louder than ever, and the world is finally listening. The WNBA faces a stark choice: evolve, or watch its golden goose fly away, never to return.